In this first documentary video of 2023, we will take an epic trip down memory lane of Porsche's dominant winning history at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. I hope you all race fans and Porsche fanatics enjoy the coverage. For starters, Porsche holds the world record for most wins at Le Mans, the world famous endurance race, thanks to 6 of his legendary race cars over the years. With 19 overall wins and 109 class wins, Porsche's success remains unmatched. After a 6-year hiatus, Porsche will make its return in 2023 to race at the top level in the new Hypercar class at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Their prototype race car is named the Porsche 963. Given that Porsche has a high prospect at Le Mans, they hoped to get a 20th victory there back to Germany. Let's go Porsche! You got this. In honor of Porsche's return to race at Le Mans, here is a recap of his Le Mans history. Enjoy. Race cars from Porsche have contested Le Mans every year since 1951. Porsche is the only marque to have competed for 72 years without a single break. The reward for this great courage is a stack of records. There have been countless memories created by Porsche at Le Mans, and history was made back in 1951 when Porsche claimed the first class victory with the 356 SL at Le Mans. After numerous class wins in the 1950s with the 550 RS Spyder, for the first time Porsche finished on a podium overall, taking 3rd place with the 718 RSK in 1958. Then after continuing racking up back-to-back class wins into the 1960s, Porsche's game started to show how desperate they wanted to win Le Mans. In 1966, Porsche entered the 906 or Carrera 6 race car to compete against the Ferrari P3 and the Ford GT40. It had a 2-liter flat-6 engine from the Porsche 911 and was homologated for Group 4, and raced proven 2 after winning races around the world such as Targa Florio. At the 24 Hours of Le Mans, the long-tail 906 prototypes were entered to Group 6, and 4 cars placed 4, 5, 6, 7 overall behind 3 GT40s, outlasting the dominant Ferrari Pieces. Yet Ford was just unbeatable at Le Mans until 1969 to revenge Ferrari. In 1968, Porsche turned up the fastest qualifying lap for the first time with the 908 driven by Stifford and Herman, who go on to place 3rd overall in the race. In 1969, the mighty 917K makes its debut at Le Mans and was the first from Porsche to set a dominance in Le Mans history. Porsche had finally reached its ultimate goal with the help of one of its most incredible race cars to dominate Le Mans, starting with the 917. The Porsche 917s were driven by the hands of Hans Hermann and Richard Atwood at Le Mans. The 917 was powered by a flat 12 engine that was stroked from 4.5 liters to 5 liter, making just 630 horses and can reach capable top speeds of 240 miles per hour on the straightaways. When the 917 initially raced in 1969, it was clear the car's aerodynamics made it nearly undrivable at high speeds and lacked success. The car came 90% close to winning the 1969 Le Mans race, but instead suffered a gearbox failure, forcing it to retire from the race. However, Porsche's 908 car came in 2nd place overall behind the Ford GT40. That's why Porsche did everything it could to win the following year by enhancing the cars. The 917 had to be durable and reliable to win, and win it certainly did in 1970. It gave Porsche its first overall win at Le Mans, a feat it will repeat in 1971 in the iconic red and white livery and martini livery. It helped Porsche win the 1970 and 1971 World Sports Car Cup and killed Ferrari as well. It was dubbed the racing car of the century by many fans despite having a short career on the track. Thus, the 917K remains the ultimate legendary race car in Porsche history. The next chapter for Porsche began in 1976 when Porsche built the 936 race car succeeding the 917K and the 908, both of which were retired by the factory team after 1971. The name 936 is derived from the Porsche 911 930 generation using its 2.1-liter flat-6 turbocharged engine from the RSR Turbo with a 2-valve making 540 horsepower. The space frame chassis was based on the 917, with many parts sharing from that car as an open cockpit style. It became the first turbocharged prototype to win at Le Mans as well as WSC. In the Group 6 class, Porsche's mission was to end the winning streak of Metro Simca and Gulf Mirage race cars that came in 1976. The feat was repeated in 1977 by the Martini team from Porsche as they faced a tough challenge with engine issues and a broken cylinder across the finish line. The struggle then continued for Porsche in 1978 when they had to face reliability issues and were defeated by the Renault Alpine car, and yes, by the French team. In 1979, the failure of the 936s to finish the race was due to a lack of rehearsal. Yet, the 935 Group 5 race cars managed to secure first, second, third, and fourth places at Le Mans thanks to the Kiemer racing team. The Porsche 935 was the first rear-engined car to win at Le Mans. In 1981, Porsche raced the 936 for the final time at Le Mans to smash the winning Rendezvous prototype with its final update, now fitted with a 2-liter flat-6 engine, and claimed another victory dating back to 1977. The factory-entered 936 won 3 times at Le Mans by driver Jackie Ickx. It had experienced ups and downs, critically giving it a special place during the 24 hours of Le Mans. The next chapter was a new golden era for Porsche in the 1980s. In 1982, FIA introduced the Group C class, which was designed for the new World Endurance Championship and Le Mans 24 Hours. Group C was defined as a pure prototype class with a minimum weight of 800 kilograms and a maximum fuel capacity of 100 liters. Group C was a fuel consumption series. Essentially, anything went in terms of engines, where big naturally aspirated engines can compete with small forced induction engines. There were no requirements for the minimal numbers of cars to build to enter, allowing several manufacturers to enter racing Group C. Porsche developed the 956 sharing the same twin-turbo flat-6 engine as the one used in the 936 with an aluminum monocoque chassis. It was the first Porsche prototype to produce ground effect aerodynamics. The aim was to generate as much downforce with way less drag thanks to the seals and fenders of the car to guide air underneath it, sucking it to the ground. The 962 sooner or later replaced the 956 with improvements in 1985. Both cars were the GOAT at Le Mans. Porsche dominated Le Mans for most of the 1980s and no other Group C car wasn't able to match its feats for a while. The mixture of the reliable flat-6 engine produced from 620 to 640 horsepower with insane aerodynamics was the one to beat. The other prototypes from Jaguar, Nissan, Toyota, Mercedes, and Mazda weren't fully competitive until the end of the 80s. Porsche won 7 straight times from 1981 to 1987 with their race cars until the legendary Jaguar XJR9 killed their streak in 1988, followed by Sauber Mercedes in 1989. Following regulation changes in 1992, Porsche was looking for new ways to continue their sports car efforts with the 962C that outlasted Group C for over a decade. Although Group C was consigned to the history books in 1993, some Group C cars celebrated a revival. In 1994, Porsche entered the 962C at Le Mans for the last time, which was approved by the Dower team and built to meet the new GT1 class rules. Therefore, it didn't compete as a prototype but as a road-going sports car. With factory support, the Dower 962 was able to take the overall win at Le Mans done by 3 drivers, making this the first ever race car to win in GT1 at Le Mans. Then, the unexpected McLaren F1 GTR snatched the crown from Porsche in 1995 and won against faster prototypes and the rainy conditions. Porsche built the 962's successor named the TWR Porsche LMP1 and was a winning machine for 2 years. This is an open cockpit prototype that had a Jaguar XJR14 chassis with a flat-6 engine from its predecessor. Team Joist Racing ran this car for Porsche as a backup team for Porsche's Team of Works 911 GT1s. Joist is the same team who campaigned for factory Audi at Le Mans. Porsche ended up beating the works of McLaren at Le Mans in both 1996 and 1997 without being a factory-supported project. In 1998, Porsche decided to take over the WSC95 prototypes itself, and the chassis underwent major changes to the bodywork. Even the engine was upgraded and then became the Porsche LMP1 98. However, it didn't finish the race and was retired after 1998, with Porsche planning to develop its next Le Mans prototype car for 2000. But the project was later cancelled and never raced, leading to being diverted to the street-legal hypercar Carrera GT project. For GT1 class in 1998, Porsche fielded two 911 GT1s that were newly modified from those entered in 1996 to take on Toyota, BMW, Mercedes, and Nissan. The 911 GT1 98 was built around a carbon monocoque chassis similar to the LMP 198 with body changes and reworks in the engine. The GT1 98 was lighter, more powerful, and more reliable than both the 1996 and 97 versions. It proved to be the best 911 sports race car of all time. Porsche showed when racing the 911 GT1 outlasting the entire race and being one of the fastest cars on the grid, as Mercedes, BMW, and Toyota were forced to retire with mechanical difficulties. The Nissan and McLaren GT1s just didn't match the pace of the 911 GT1s. Porsche dropped its factory race team after celebrating its 50th birthday and winning Le Mans in 1998 for the 16th time, which now has been 25 years since. Due to financial reasons, the GT1 class ended and LMGTP took over in 1999 for Le Mans with several new entries from other manufacturers. Porsche chose to exit top-tier prototype racing and not to defend the win against the new LMP cars from Audi, BMW, Mercedes, etc. Porsche made a comeback to prototype racing in 2005 with the LMP2 RS Spyder that raced in the American Le Mans series, although this was run by only customer teams rather than by Porsche. Regulations intended the LMP1 class for factory teams, with the LMP2 reserved for privateers. Penske Racing campaigned this car exclusively in the American Le Mans series and was very successful. It won the American Le Mans Series title 3 straight times in 2006, 2007, and 2008. The RS Spyder even raced at Le Mans in the LMP2 class and took victory in 2008 and 2009 over other privateer teams, though the car didn't win overall. In 2014, Porsche made a factory comeback to the top-tier class at Le Mans with the 919 Hybrid, the most complex racing car ever designed by Porsche. It was very technologically advanced with a 2-liter direct-injected turbocharged V4 engine combined with an electric motor at the front and 2 energy recovery systems to recharge the batteries when decelerating. Though the 919 has gone through 3 crucial changes over 3 years of racing, the technical outcomes stayed the same developed by Porsche Works. In the new LMP1 hybrid era, the mission for Porsche was to end and show Audi who was boss at dominating Le Mans, despite Audi being nearly unbeatable for many years while Porsche was absent for a very long time. 2 919 hybrids first entered the racing field against factory teams from Audi and Toyota in 2014, and Porsche came very close to winning for its comeback season. With only an hour and a half left from the end of the race, the 919s suffered engine issues and retired from the race. They took a mega defeat by Audi to only strengthen the following year. The Porsche team did not only win the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 2015, 2016, and 2017, but also became a 3-time champion in the FIA World Endurance Championship. The company was able to repeat its winning trilogy like in the late 1990s. Then Porsche unfortunately declined their LMP1 program at the end of the 2017 season. This means both WEC and Le Mans campaign was over for Porsche to start a career in Formula Electric Series along with Audi, who also left LMP1 and WEC. However, Porsche didn't leave WEC altogether as they continued the GTE program with the 911 RSR. So presently, 6 years later, Porsche is ready and set to return to the Centennial 24 Hours of Le Mans and WEC in 2023 with the new Porsche 963 LMDH Hypercar. Team Penske will factory campaign this car, and hopefully the 963 will add another drastic chapter to Porsche's famous racing legacy after the 919. The golden era of sports car racing is here, and it's very exciting for several manufacturers and teams to enter racing in the hypercar class. All in all, go get them, Porsche! I hope you all race fans and Porsche fanatics enjoyed this video. If you did, do not forget to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, and you are more than happy to give me any suggestions of what you want to see in the coming videos. But hold on a second, before we end this video, I just want to introduce the grand opening of my merch store that you should check out. As much as I appreciate you guys supporting my YouTube channel, now is the time. Seeking high quality and stylish car t-shirts you can wear anywhere, anytime? Click on my store link Zazzle.com store, customization in the description down below. Get your merch here, share and gift them to your loved ones. Try them and wear them and love them for style and support. Thank you all very much once again, because effort makes a big difference. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, stay safe, Chris the Radar, out.